Since Fiddler is a proxy, it has the capability of actually responding to the client without contacting the actual web server. So the feature in Fiddler is called the autoresponder. What it does is it uses a series of rules. So these rules are used in order, and the rules can be literals, regular expressions, exact matches. When you hit a rule, you essentially have different actions that can occur. So you can return specific status codes, you could go to disk and return particular files, or you could actually redirect to other URLs. There's a setting for unmatched requests being passed through, so all that means is as I request my web page, if I have a rule for the HTML itself but not for everything else, if I check the unmatched requests passed through, then all of the images, style sheets, and JavaScript can still go back to the original web server to get the responses correct. You can export your rules to an FARX file if you want to use the rules again. And if you need to, you can also set latency. So if you want it to look like it's actually taking time talking to the web server, you can build that latency into the response. To show autoresponder, let's just kind of have fun with this. If you've been to Pluralsight's site, you've seen that they have a top 100 leaderboard for courses. Let's say I wanted to convince my friends that I had the #1 course. I'm sure this one will be popular, but in case. I can go into Fiddler. I can see the request. I'm going to go back to this original request. You'll see the request for that page. It happens to be compressed, so I'm first going to uncompress. Now I'm going to go do a save. I'm going to save off this file. We'll just call it top.htm. And what we want to do is we want to go in and modify that file. I didn't want to bore you having you watch me make the modifications to the actual HTML file. So I've made modifications to say that Fiddler is now the top course. What I want to do is come into the autoresponder tab. I want to make sure that I have enable automatic responses clicked. I also want to make sure that I have unmatched requests passed through, because I don't want to replace all of the CSS and images and everything else. I just want to serve the particular file. So I'll come here and say add. It knows that I have a match on a particular URL, so it fills that in for me. And then it asks me down below, what do I want to do in response to that? I'm just going to go to the folder where I stored that file, and I'm going to say save. Now what will happen is as I go back into my browser, if I go to the Pluralsight site and I go to popular, and I look at the top leaderboard, you'll see Fiddler is now #1. Isn't that cool? Wow. So anyways, the interesting thing is just that autoresponder, again, because Fiddler is a proxy, it can intercept requests. So I'm able to serve parts of a request, an entire site. I could host that all on my machine and then use Fiddler to just automatically return the files I need rather than go out to the actual web server itself.